Hello, everyone. We are now in Module 9. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. All right, let's go ahead and look at Module 9. The overview and objectives. Here we are again, identifying, creating value for others and record them in a journal. That is our assignment for the Module 6 through 10. And identify the principles of effectuation and describe their importance. So we're working on that within the same modules here. So module 9 and 10, we've already completed 8, which was the start of effectuation. Now we're going into the next section, and then we'll complete it with module 10. Our module level objectives that align with our course objectives. And then we have our activities that we'll be working on, and then the assignments. So let's go ahead and take a look at the resources that align with the Crazy Quilt. We have 2 videos here, and they have to do with Scrub Daddy. The first episode of Scrub Daddy on Shark Tank, you may have seen it. It was the highest rating product from Shark Tank. And so it's not the entire section, it's just a part of a clip of the show, the original show. And then here is an update and how it ties in with Crazy Quilt, the relationship, the networking relationship between the owner of Scrub Daddy and the shark on Shark Tank here. All right, and so that would be Lori Grenier. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the slide deck for Crazy Quilt. All right, so we already know expert entrepreneurs, the principle of effectuation. We went over bird in hand and affordability loss. Now we're going to go to Crazy Quilt, and then we'll cover lemonade in the next module. So this is an image of an antique Crazy Quilt. It's a patchwork of different fabrics, different types of fabrics that come together to make a quilt. And what is so interesting about this is that we relate this to our network and the people that we know. And we pull this together to make a whole. So one organization is a blend of different people. And that's how we're making this analogy. I used to sell a lot of these Crazy Quilts back in my antique business. All right, so they all come together to form partnerships, right? So here, increasing commitments. So we're looking at building a new program, initiative, whatever the entrepreneurial endeavor may be. So it's an entrepreneur's ability to obtain an increasing commitment from other people and businesses over time. So how do people demonstrate commitment? Many different ways. You know, there might be a slight commitment, you know, on this continuum here. We have maybe agree to a meeting, maybe calls other on your behalf. We're moving up the scale from slight to being a full commitment or more commitment. Help building the product, actually signs a partnership agreement. So we can look at the continuum here of the level of commitment. How else do people demonstrate commitment? Well, perhaps, you know, answering a phone call, agreeing to any type of verbal commitment, signing a contract, vouching for someone. And let me just mention something here. When someone tells you, I'll try to make that connection for you. I will try to be there on Sunday. I will try to get something done. What they're doing is they're telling you in advance that they're going to fail. And so whenever you hear, I'll try, do your best to turn around that commitment to something like, what can we do instead? What other ways can we go about doing this so that you can get a commitment? So just don't accept the I'll try, because it's always a failure. So here, perhaps someone agrees to connect you with someone, maybe formally agree to a partnership, demonstrated proximity, you know, acting authentically or altruistically, volunteering their time, that sort of thing. So you can see the level of commitment has changed here. Long-term commitments, marriage is a commitment. We have the Shark Tank Scrub Daddy episode, and you can see how the gaining legitimacy, certainly the business owner gained an incredible amount of legitimacy by having the partnership with Lori Grenier. All right. Would you invest in that company or not? Well, now that we know the story, of course we would. Stakeholders, let's take a look at stakeholders. There really can be anyone who has an interest in a company. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean somebody working for the company. It could be suppliers, it could be anyone even slightly affected by a business. Let's say you have a cafe, little natural food cafe in a strip mall, and there are other businesses there. Now you are a stakeholder in all those other businesses because their success may impact you and your business. Now let's say the other end of the mall, the company moves out and a strip joint comes in there instead. Now it's a strip mall, strip joint, no pun intended there. But let's just say something that is not necessarily beneficial to your business. You are a stakeholder in whoever comes into that business. And not only are you a stakeholder and all the other businesses in that strip mall, but also the neighbors nearby are stakeholders in all the businesses in the strip mall. So the stakeholder goes much beyond just the organization and the company and the employees and so forth. It goes much beyond that. Now, a shareholder is very different from a stakeholder, right? A shareholder is someone who owns share of a company. Now, that can be a publicly traded company, or it can be a privately held company, which can also offer shares of a company, of the company itself. So in that case of a shareholder could have a voting interest or non-voting interest. They could become, in a publicly traded company or a privately held company, either or. Okay. We talked about who they might be. All right, what about an advisory board? A lot of companies, and I would encourage you to have an advisory board because it's good to have people that can help you in the direction, their expertise, their connecting you to other people and helping you to grow your business over time. They can be a wonderful way to have you meeting other people. Right. So here, some of the examples of an advisory board, they can guide you through various topics, flexible with compensation. Well, if anything at all, most advisory board members for new startups don't take any type of compensation. They're usually more involved in giving rather than taking. And they have few legal responsibilities. However, the decisions that they make may affect the legality of the business. So they are still legally responsible. Stakeholder examples. So there are several different examples here. One is Upwork. Upwork is a company that offers contract services. So let's say I have someone who I need to write a few lines of code for me for an app that I have. And so I put that contract out there for anyone looking in Upwork to offer me a proposal. So they will look at it and say, okay, I can write those lines of code. Here are my credentials. Here is what I expect to be compensated for it. And I will have several different proposals and I will make a decision as to which service I want to contract with, which company. So we think about places that we can develop partnerships too. There are many places we can go. Certainly one, we can always go to the business meetings that are out there, the Chamber of Commerce, where we can physically go. There are many other places we can go. There's social media where we can find places to, LinkedIn, that sort of thing. We can also have here at FGCU, we have our business incubator and accelerator that we help our businesses to grow. Even after you've graduated and you're an alum from FGCU, you can still come back to the incubator, and faculty and staff will help you to continue to grow your business. So we are a stakeholder in your business. There's another workspace area in the community that can help as well. So when you're looking to form relationships, certainly you want a win-win scenario. You want so that you can both win from the relationship itself. You want to set clear expectations for each other. Offer access to your own network, maybe customer suppliers, whatever that may be. You have to balance that to see what makes sense for you. Maybe create a compelling vision and a pitch for your venture. Sometimes 1 + 1 = 3, right? Because you have more minds working together to create a better scenario. So there are, oftentimes entrepreneurs hesitate to form partnerships. They struggle to let go. It's their baby. They've done all this work. They want it to succeed, and they just don't want to let go on any small part of it. Whether it is giving up equity or just giving up getting additional advice. So they do ultimately trust is earned through demonstrated performance. So let's look at the percentage of the pie here. Giving up an ownership portion. We can do it in many different ways. Perhaps we might think of giving up ownership to employees, actually helping to retain employees by giving them a percentage share or a stock option. Employees who bring value to their organization, right? So, or the founding team of investors or the original founders, and then maybe other additional investors. So if we break that up in 3 parts, we can see how that can work. Now we look at vesting ownership. So I have here at FGCU, I have to wait 8 years before I'm vested in the retirement system here, in the Florida retirement system. Okay, so that means I must stay within an organization that's part of the Florida retirement system for a minimum of 8 years to be 100% vested. In this scenario here, we're showing after 1 year, the person is 33% vested. In the second year, 67 or 66.666% vested. And then here now in year 3, they are 100% vested. This is similar to Amazon and other large companies that offer stock options, but you don't get 100% of it until you have put your time in. And you will get a stair-step amount over time, where unlike my retirement system, I must be here for 8 years or I get nothing. All I would get is if I were here 7.5 years and I were to leave, I would only get what I put into it, but not the organization's contribution. So I need to be 100% vested in 8 years. Very different than this scenario, which is a stair step along the way. Okay, so quick review here. Ventures come to be by the process of co-creation, working together. Partners who self-select tend to be more committed to the success of the organization. Partners can bring new ideas and more means to the venture, right? So the crazy quilt principle does suggest that partnerships can happen over time and lead to new and oftentimes better outcomes. So uncertainty can be managed through partnerships. Okay, so we've completed that. I'd like to just go back to the module and just let you know that here for the assignment for module 9 will be to complete the exam review sheet to incorporate information from Module 9. Now I will move on to Module 10. Thank you.